Alright, so hello everyone. In this video, we'll be looking at functional components in React as well as properties. So a functional component is a function that returns a JSX. So I'm going to mirror that. Export default function. So I want to just export a function. I want to call my function home like this. Export home. Then I'm going to return something in here. So every time I return a JSX file like this then becomes a functional component. So I will just pass in a text that says homepage. Now I need to view this on my website. So I need to view this file now on my web browser. So in order to do that, I have to come to my terminal here. Ctrl J displays that for you in VS Code. And the package manager of choice I'm using is npm. So I'm going to start my developmental server with the command npm run dev. So every time I do that, it's going to point to localhost port 3000. So I'd come to my browser and pass it in the localhost port 3000. Then I'm going to run that. Now once that is done compiling, once it's done with this compilation, I should see a text that says homepage on my website here. And here we have its homepage. So that's a functional component. Now a prop is a way for us to pass the data from a parent component to a child component. So in here I have a component folder created outside my app folder and a file called user.jsx. I'm just returning another function. So observe that my U is capital letter U because the format for writing external component like this in React is just this way. Your file names must begin with capital letter. So what I want to do is I want to create an object here and call it user data. User data is going to be equal to an object. Name is going to be set to John and age is going to be set to 35. Now I want to pass this to the user.jsx file. But before I do that, I want to ensure that I can view this file on my browser. So this is what I will do. Now React has the ability to return just one parent element here. So in here, I'll bring back the text of homepage, and underneath it now, no, not that, okay. Underneath it, I'm going to import the user file I created coming from components just like this. And this has to be a self-closing element. So after importing this now, my user file says I'm a user. So if I check my website, it should show me something like homepage coming from the homepage, and then I am user coming from the user component that we imported at this point. Now I want to pass the data from this home page all the way to user.jsx file, and here's how I do it. And these are props coming. So what we know to be attributes in HTML, here we call them properties. So I'm going to pass in something like x is going to be equal to user data, just like this. By doing this, I'm making this data here available in my user component. So when I come to my user component, I'm going to destructure x as a property to the function here, so that when I do that now, I should be able to access the name of the user. Now every time I want to write JavaScript inside a div, I have to put it in curly braces like this. So I'm going to do x now dot name, because if you check the object that was created, name was a property, and if I do that, this should give me on the browser I am John, and when I check out my browser, it gives me I am John. We could take this a step further, and we could also say and I am, we come once again. Now we're using x because that was the name we called it here, okay. X.age, we could come outside and pass in a years old. Years old. So my browser, it tells me I am John and I am 35 years old. So that's what happens with props. We can pass data from one component to another.